What's the likelihood that we're going to see that strong earnings report?
Well, we're going to see a strong report. That's without a doubt. The real question is how much of outperformance we're
Yeah.
going to get. Right now, the analysts are looking for about 110% year-over-year revenue growth. This is on top of last year's 100% gain. This company has doubled twice in the last 2 years. EPS is supposed to grow 137%, so we're going to see some margin expansion with that leverage. The trend is for outperformance, but the analysts have had plenty of time to raise their targets. So it's going to be a strong report. It just depends on how much stronger than consensus it is. If it kind of matches the consensus target, that would probably be among the worst case scenarios for near term price because it means that all these gains have been priced in and we will most definitely see the price pull back at that point.
Thomas, do you have those specifics real quick? What kind of price targets are we looking at from analysts?
Well, right now we've got 44 analysts rating the stock at a moderate buy. They're showing a pretty firm conviction that rating hasn't changed very much over the last year. Right now, the consensus target is about $132. That's 15% above the 150-day moving average. That's a pretty good target for firm support and a nice trigger point for buying and selling if it were to be crossed. The consensus target is rising. Most of the fresh targets are above consensus, leading to a new all-time high. So that is certainly a possibility. But once again, it's just going to come down to, does the company perform as expected? Consensus is for 110% growth, but the high end of the range is above that. The whisper numbers are above that. So the market is secretly expecting to have a strong result, stronger than expected, stronger than consensus, has a pretty high bar to beat.
And Chris, let's get into a little bit of what that high performance would look like for NVIDIA. What are some things that investors are watching closely right now?
Well, one of the things that they're going to be looking for is an announcement or some clarity from NVIDIA as far as when the launch of their Blackwell chip is coming out. This is a chip that's going to be used more for industrial slash data center applications, and the launch has been delayed. And there is talk that it might get delayed from coming sometime in the last quarter of this year into 2025. Investors are going to want to hear about that because that is something that could weigh in on the stock's performance, not only for next quarter, but in a couple of quarters after that. Also, it introduces the idea that it gives other chip makers a chance to catch up. Now, whether or not that's going to be a serious threat to NVIDIA in the short term, I don't know, but it's something that, it's something that investors are going to be listening for very carefully.